There is no doubt about Barcelona's credentials as one of the most lucrative football clubs in the modern day. According to the annual Delloite Football Money League reports, Barcelona generated the most revenue over the past 2 years, generating €840 and €715 million in 2019 and 2020 respectively. Then something disturbing happened. Barcelona's financial results of the year 2019 to 2020 season have shown that the club is under immense debt amounting to nearly €1.2 billion, out of which €700 million is reportedly short-term debt. This financial crisis has led Barca in between a hard rock and a dry place in terms of registering new signings and renewing Messi's contract. This is Barca Culers TV, and in this video, we are going to look at why Barcelona somehow find themselves in such a financial mess, and ways in which they can relieve themselves. Let's get into it. One of the first reasons Barca is in this financial crisis is due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 has had a massive impact on the game of football. Apart from the fixture congestion and players' health risk, the biggest problem of COVID-19 has been on the club's finances. For a club like Barcelona, a club with one of the biggest fan base in the world, service towards the fans is a key feature of how the club runs and makes money. For every match that is played at the Camp Nou behind closed doors, the club loses out on a possible €6 million. With matches being played behind closed doors of the 99,354 seated Camp Nou, the losses have had a telling impact on the club's finances. The second reason, which is the biggest reason behind this financial situation at Barcelona, is its astonishing wage bill. Barcelona is the highest paying club in the world at the moment, with their average wages per player amounting to approximately €11 million. Almost 74% of Barcelona's budget goes into their wage bill, which is without a doubt an alarming amount. La Liga authorities have told Barcelona to reduce their wage bill by half, which simply shows how problematic this situation is. Barcelona's wage structure is certainly something that the club needs to show more care towards. In the early days of the coronavirus outbreak, Messi and the rest of the squad took a temporary 70% wage cut, to protect the income of the non-sporting staff. Fixing the wage structure has to be at the top of Barcelona's agenda at the moment, as this will be the key to relieve the club from this situation in the long run. Closely related to the club's astonishing wage bill, is poor management from the last board leadership led by Josep Bartomeu. Bartomeu's board has been a long-standing problem at Barca, and is also majorly the one to point fingers at, for the situation the club is in at the moment. Well, all clubs in football in top-flight leagues were hit by the pandemic, but Bartomeu's inability to deal with the pandemic is a consequence of a series of events that led Barca into this deep financial crisis. The new board led by Joan Laporta has been finding ways trying to find solutions, like going for free agents in the transfer market, trying to sell some high-earning players in the squad, and negotiating salary cuts with the players to reduce the wage bill. The last but not least reason for Barca's financial situation is poor transfer policy. Since Neymar Jr. left for PSG in 2017 for the exorbitant price of €222 million, the transfer market has had long-standing impacts. Barcelona have spent north of €100 million thrice for attacking players, in hope of replacing Neymar. However, the gaping hole still remains to be there at the Blaugrana. Since Neymar's departure, Barcelona have spent €767 million across the pitch on 14 players, and 6 of these are not even at the club anymore. Well, this shows that there has been a lot of poor recruitment and sales at the club, and this is largely down to poor planning in general. It is no surprise that the player that has come closest to fit into Neymar's shoes is Barcelona's very own Ansu Fati, that cost the club a total of €0 million. Barcelona have splurged on superstar names, irrespective of whether that player is a suitable player for the team, for instance Coutinho and Pjanic among others. Barcelona also have signed players like Paulinho, Arturo Vidal, Miralem Pjanic, all of who were touching 30 at the time of signing, while on the other hand, sold players like Arthur Melo, Xavi Simons, and Carlos Alina. Another problem that came with this heavy spending is that Barcelona is now owing lots of money to numerous clubs for incomplete transfer fees. The club still owes money to Liverpool and Ajax for the lucrative deals of Philippe Coutinho and Frenkie de Jong. In fact, what's most shocking is that Barca also owes money to clubs like Bordeaux and Grêmio for Malcolm and Arthur signings respectively, and these players are not even at the club anymore. Given that Barcelona's golden period under Pep Guardiola consisted of a team full of players from Barca's very own academy, one may wonder why Barcelona feel the need to splurge on so many big names. The likes of Ansu Fati, Oscar Mingueza, Ronald Araujo and Alash Moriba have made an impact in the senior team, and are the academy boys of the upcoming generation. The €5 million signings of Pedri are ones which Barcelona can afford to make at the moment, and are also ones that the club are better of making. Recruitment is certainly a department that Barcelona must pay more attention to, in order to improve the club's financial situation from this point forward. That was it for today, guys. What do you think about Barca's financial situation? Let's talk in the comments down below. And before you go, it will be wonderful if you just hit that subscribe button. Until next time, Visca el Barça.